Barbados Council for the Disabled presents My Inclusive School.
My name is Sandra Downs. I'm the principal of Workman's Primary School. As we are here today to look at our inclusive school, I'm proud to present the fact that we have tried over the years to cater to our students emotionally, physically, spiritually, and in every way so as to get the maximum from our children. At present, we have an 11-year-old boy and a 3-year-old who are presently, one has multiple differences and the other one is visually impaired. Our children don't need to be left out. They need to be enhanced, they need to be helped, they need to feel part of whatever is happening around them. And here at Workman's, we also strive to make them comfortable. In that, there's a zero tolerance to bullying of any type, that is verbal or physical. And these children, as I said before, we make them feel comfortable and we set our activities in place so that they can be accommodated. I must say that Ashton, even though visually impaired, is our head boy. And I'm very pleased to showcase him. We would have tried to put provisions in place to assist these children. The fact that we needed to have our bathrooms more accessible, we would have had fittings to our bathroom in the form of rails where, they would be able to climb and sit comfortably as they grasp the bars that were placed there. And also we would have changed some of the facets in order to accommodate the children who might not be able to readily turn the top of the facet, but who would now need to flip them from side to side. I want to say thanks to the Ministry of Education. They would have helped us to have these installed. They are now at the nursery of Workman's Primary School. We have the teacher, Mrs. Brown, and we have the parent volunteer, Miss Burt. Also, we have our little Nefertari Brewster, who has some multiple challenges, but he is very active, very alert, and as you can see, he's interacting with his manipulatives. Nefertari, how are you today? Come to me. You're doing well? What are you doing? Okay, you're working with that. All right, thank you. Good morning, children.
Good morning, Mrs. Dawn.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you?
I'm fair, thank you. Please sit.
Thank you.
We're here to present our dad ambassador for Workman's Primary School. So we're going over to Ryan Janae Yard, who will be our ambassador, as she is quite a helpful child.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Whoa! Hi, good morning. Welcome to St. Matthew's. We are an all-inclusive school, definitely. As you can tell, there are students here. When you look at the children playing netball, we have children from the mainstream and children also from the learning support unit that we have here, and they're all playing together. This is a norm. Nothing unusual about this. So they play together, they laugh together. That's how we are at St. Matthew's.
I am Michelle Strickland, special ed teacher here at the St. Matthew's Primary School. Here at St. Matthew's, we facilitate learning experiences for students with diverse learning needs. In my class, we facilitate students who are Down syndrome, students with Down syndrome, students who have ADHD, which is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and students who also have some social and emotional needs. The uniqueness here at St. Matthew's is such that my class in particular, we are integrated with the mainstream PE and some of the other curriculum classes that we have here.
This unit would be an addition. We had 10 students before, but as of, I think, 2 years ago, we now have about 20 children in both halves of the unit. So this will be for the younger ones, and then we have one for the older ones. Okay, so as I said before, we have one part of the unit for the younger ones, and then we have the other side for the older ones. This one here now is the one where Miss Ben, she's responsible for the older students. So, Miss Ben?
Initially, the program started with an inclusive program whereby the students would have been in the mainstream, assigned to the classes, and then they would only come to me in the mornings from 9 to 12. But now the program is facilitating the students now from 9 to 3 o'clock, which is giving them more advantage and more time to concentrate on the areas that they're weak in.
Okay, so this is Joshua. He's in infants B, and as you can see, he's working well with the others. They're playing a game. This is you won. This is an English game. And, this is his brother, and these are some of the other students that he's interacting with. All right, we're going into this classroom. This is an example of how we try to accommodate. Joshua really should be in the learning support unit, but there's no ramp there, but this is what we did in order to make sure that he can access the classroom. And there's some other cases in which we do whatever we can to make sure that the students are supported.
So just understanding special ed in Barbados, for some understanding, is that sometimes our students in classes, in the mainstream classes, are not able to be facilitated for in the mainstream. What that means is not that the child can't learn, but the child needs individualized instruction that is more catering to his or her needs. So sometimes the children need smaller class sizes, which is what the special units tend to offer for our students, smaller class sizes. Smaller class sizes mean that the students are able to have more teacher time. They are able to have more learning experiences that are more tailored for them. And so that is one of the benefits of the special unit, and even at the latter end, the benefit of having inclusion units, because then although they're being instructed at their level, they still get to be integrated into the mainstream school, doing mainstream activities with the entire school here at St. Matthew's.
We see potential, we see possibilities. We don't look at the disabilities. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Wendy Lewis, and I am the acting principal of the Princess Margaret Secondary School. I believe that children can learn together regardless of having a disability. When I came to the school, Tylon was already enrolled here. He would have been in second form at that time. The year head informed me that there was a differently able student in the year group who was deaf, and he was adjusting well at the school. I met him in person during the second term of the last school year, and as the previous 2 terms were online. He seemed shy then. It might have been because I was a new principal, but then he has now become accustomed to me.
Good morning. My name is Carmelia Ali. I am here at the Princess Margaret Secondary School offering interpreting and teaching services to Tylon Ford. My experience here at this school, some days it has been awesome, some days there's been frustration, and some days I would say there was some depression. But the inclusion program is a wonderful, wonderful initiative.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Linton, a teacher at the Princess Margaret Secondary School. I teach English language, and I was the form teacher of Form 3I. When I first realized that Thailand was going to be my form, I was a little bit apprehensive. But then with the support of his interpreter, we were able to, weather the storms. We were able to get through the different challenges that we faced, especially with online learning, and then moving back to the classroom. Thailand's presence in the classroom has really added to the diversity of the classroom, and I feel that it has sensitized the students in the classroom of having differently able persons within our environment and helping them to see that because you might have a physical, mental, behavioral, or educational challenge, that does not mean that you cannot learn. That doesn't mean that you are not capable of showcasing your talents. And I feel overall it has been a really good thing having Thailand here at the Princess Margaret Secondary School.
The inclusion program is a wonderful, wonderful initiative. It allows persons with disabilities to be involved with as level a playing field as possible. And Thailand Forward has that opportunity to blossom and to grow here at this school.
When you move around the plant, you will see Thailand with the other students, and you will not know that he is the deaf student. The students usually would assist him at all times. He's even part of the school's track team, and he would have represented us only last week in the zonal sports, and his performance was quite admirable. At the Princess Margaret Secondary School, we welcome students with disabilities.
I am Major Andrew Skeet, and I am the acting principal of Grantley Adams Memorial School. We at Grantley Adams Memorial School have strived on providing an environment where students with any challenge can grow and develop. Our motto, equality, opportunity, service, speaks to this, where we provide equal opportunities for all our students to do as well as they possibly can. Within previous times, we've had children with physical challenges, and what we have sought to do is to make arrangements and accommodations to assist them. We've also had some children who may have had some challenges cognitively, and we've also made the adjustments to ensure that they receive the best education experience that they can get. On the side of the physical challenges in the past, we would have had a lad who was using a walker. And what the school did is make accommodation through the provision of ramps, which you can see here, right, so that he could move between his classes effectively. In fact, at one point we would have moved his class and placed it at the front of the school. And students, and his teachers, would have come to his class in order to provide instruction to him.
Truly an honor to be able to share with you some of the interventions that we're using here at the Grantley Adams Memorial School, specifically for our students who present with challenges with literacy. We talk a lot about inclusion, and we do have students that we treat who have hearing impairments, but specifically students who present with challenges with dyslexia. Of course, our student in focus is one of these individuals, and we have a range of interventions that we provide for him. Specifically, as it relates to his examinations, we ensure that there is adequate support in terms of reader support, writer support, so that he's able to be tested fairly on exam content and not necessarily on how quickly he can finish his task. Within the context of the classroom, there are many provisions we also use for students like him. We do have our smart board, where we have our phonological awareness software, where they're able to segment and blend sounds and really get an understanding of how the English language works and the sounds that make up the words that we use within our particular lessons.
We also had a situation where we had two children whose arms were not fully developed. One we were able to fit into cricket, and the female student would have excelled in the human ecology section in the area of home economics. Right, we did have a male student here whose arm was not fully developed, but we were still able to integrate him into our cricket program. He specialized in batting. I think Mr. Griffith, I'll let Mr. Griffith say a little bit more about it, because even though we were able to provide him with that, with as much support as we could, I think there was a little bit more that we needed, but we couldn't at the time. But the boy left here with his cricket cap, very proud, and I think he's gone on to bigger and better things at this time.
Well, the young man would have come through the school, as his principal said, and he did have a love for cricket. And well, obviously, because his hand was not fully developed, they had to have special equipment, which we were unable to actually acquire here. And because of that, he was unable to bat and take his place on the field of play in a competitive sense. But since then, he has gone on. He's also tried badminton, and he's gone into the special program with the Barbados Badminton Association.
I'm Major Michael Boyce, principal of the Dighton Griffith Secondary School, and I'm very happy to share today with you about our experiences here with interacting with persons with special needs. Right? In terms of accommodating our students, when the time came for him to move from 3rd to 4th form, where students would be making their subject options or subject choices to do to CXE, for the CSEC examinations, we allowed him to indicate the subjects that he would want to do, and the timetable permitting, we fitted those in to accommodate his interests. For example, I know he really wanted to do music and IT. So why he couldn't have done those before in the 3rd form, because they're both at the same time. Once he got the 4th form, we could accommodate that, and we did so. I know he works with one of our teachers in the music area, and even there, they've made some accommodations in terms of software and equipment. Similarly, in his regular classes, he has a laptop which is outfitted with assistive devices and assistive technology, which makes it easier for him to engage in the classes. One of the things we also did, we had training sessions for our teachers, where we brought in Senator Kenneran Eiffel, who gave teachers some tips and strategies as to how they can best work with him. We did a similar thing to address our students with special needs, especially those students with dyslexia. We brought in a specialist teacher, who shared ideas and activities that we can do to help these students succeed in the classroom. I will say it takes a lot of patience and a lot of time, but the teachers are very willing to do so, and we are very happy as well to work with parents and guardians and the students themselves to ensure that the students get the best quality experience they can here at Dighton Griffith Secondary School. One of the things we set up this year is a special educational needs committee to address those students and all students who may have not just a disability, but special educational need. As I said before, we believe that it's important that all students have the opportunity to do their very best, and so we will make whatever accommodations are necessary so that they can excel and that they can enjoy excellence like all other students. We would love if we could employ or engage some teacher aides who would work with some of our students in the classrooms to lend that more individualized support that we're not sometimes able to give. We are very ready and very willing to do so, but the challenges of the inclusion and having our full classes, that makes that very difficult from time to time. So we look forward, we're very happy to work with the National Disability Council, and we look forward to a healthy partnership, and I want to commend not just Dighton Griffith Secondary School, but all schools who have made that that effort to make all persons with disabilities feel welcome. I'm also happy to share that I'm a former member of a board of management. He's visually impaired, and I loved engaging him in conversation at board meetings. I've also had the privilege to interact with our current student from time to time. We have conversation with him about his future interests and activities. We want to really ensure that all students, that they can do their very best to get a quality education and be productive citizens beyond the gates here of Dighton Griffith Secondary School.